Is it recording? Checking. Yes, it is. So, as announced in my previous video, I want to make a video about adulthood and why I changed the name of the channel from Huck to Christoph Miedeke. I will take a seat and have a look at my notes. So maybe I start first with where does Huck come from. So Huck was a name given to me, partly chosen by me, during when I was maybe 15, 16, something like this. A friend of mine and me, we were sitting together, greetings to you, you know who you are. We were thinking that it's a bit strange that we were given names, both of us, before we were even born. How could those names even fit to our identity, to our personality? And then it appeared that, so we wanted to give ourselves, each other, names that would suit or fit better to who we are. And at that time, and also when I was younger, I was a lot like, I don't know if you know Emil, like this Astrid Lindgren book, this kid on the farm, barefoot, stick, hat, and I was like barefoot, slingshot, hat. That was like somehow me, and somehow that was Huckleberry, Huck Finn, and so somehow this Huck suits me, and suited me, suit, I don't know what is suit me. So also then when moving to Finland, Huck, Finland, it kind of felt like a name where I feel home. And it was a youth name. It was a name that fit me better, and it was a name that was given to me when I was in this transition towards adulthood, or so I thought. It took some time until I realized, when am I adult? And that's basically the topic of this video. I was looking at some point, started looking for an adulthood name because I felt like, well, I'm not this youth Huck anymore, I'm something new. And what is this thing, adulthood, and why do I feel that this is one of our most crucial issues in modern society? In my opinion, adults are that generation or this part of society that can take care of themselves and can take care of the old and can take care of the young. Like adults are the most capable people in a way. Of course, like, you know, there's more wisdom and knowledge in the old people, but maybe the physical ability, the ability to work, to I don't know, contribute to society, the possibilities are not as good. And of course, young can take care of the old to some extent, and old can take care of the young to some extent, maybe at the same time, ideally. And anyhow, so I felt like, okay, this is the role of the adults, is being able to take care of yourself and being able to take care of others. And being able to take care of yourself, that means knowing how to survive. Knowing how to survive in a way that it is possible within the planetary boundaries and natural realities. And that was for me the biggest struggle. Even though on the paper I had the number 18, I was adult, I knew how to earn money, pay pizza and pay rent and insurances and all these kind of things that basically you would say that, yeah, he's surviving, right? And he has a kid and taking care, and you know, is trying to be a good father, and is taking care of others, volunteering. So basically all this, like, that you would say like, yeah, he's like, you know, very much an adult. At the same time, I never felt that I'm really that adult, because I always knew that the way I'm surviving is actually surviving, knowing how to survive inside a system that itself does not survive. So a system that is having like an overshoot day of you know, somewhere, I mean, even having an overshoot day, right? Having a personal, national or global overshoot day, being part of a society, having slipped into this or being trapped in this society where I'm basically killing the planet, that didn't feel like an adult thing to do. To me, being adult means at least trying hard to live a good life, and that means good life in a sense that it's like not just environmentally friendly in the way that very often is meant as less harmful, but friendly, like being good, right? Being good. I mean, like often you think like this is environmentally friendly, and when you look at it, it's just like slightly less harmful. It's not friendly how you are, you know, like when I'm friendly to you, you mean like, oh yeah, he's doing friendly things, that's nice stuff, like he's taking care, you know, he's caring for me, and not just like, oh, he's only harming me a little bit, that's very friendly. So anyhow, to me, adulthood means that. Adulthood means knowing how to survive basically as naked as I was born, ideally, right? That's my feeling of like, right, the most mature you are when you don't need stuff, when you don't need money, when you don't want and want and want. And to me, that was a huge, huge, huge struggle, to an extent that basically I don't quite feel adult yet, because I know there are people who really, in my opinion, are a lot more mature. I have met like refugees, 15, 16-year-old boys who have come from Afghanistan overland, right? Like without money, under the threat of violence, being exposed to violence, being exposed to starvation and freezing and suffering, losing friends. And they arrived here and they were so much mature than, I would say, almost most of the adult guys, especially in the society that I'm a part of. So how can it be that I'm not an adult? And what does it take to be an adult? That's kind of, to me, that's something where I wish we would have institutions that actually provide this adulthood initiation, the rite of passage, challenging you, giving you, you know, selecting, being selected, being taken away from the youth role, from the youth society, and being prepared for a rite of passage, a challenge which you can you face it as a youngster, as a youth, as an adolescent, but you can only complete this challenge as an adult. So I was like looking for these kind of challenges. I hope we would have this. I exposed myself, as maybe you know if you have been following longer. I've been doing a lot of these solos, and I was really lucky to have had in the age of 16 an experience in the desert where I was like, you know, crying the whole night. And after that night, I became pacifist, vegetarian, joined Greenpeace, and before that I had posters of tanks and fighter planes in my room. I was eating raw meat and had like, you know, really a fascination in guns and violence, and was sure I would go to the army and do my military service and, you know, be a real man. In the end, I actually went to the army, even though I had the choice not to. I went to the army because I wanted to know, what is it that I once wanted? What is it that I used to be in favor for? What is it that I'm opposing? So kind of know your enemy. So I went to the army and had a, oh, what a time. Another story. Um, so back to adulthood. So it would be so good to have this institution that pick and facilitate and assist in this process of becoming an adult. And then also, once you have kind of proven yourself, and that doesn't mean number 18 or I don't know, like having been to the army, like not at all, at all. Like when you know that, right, you have passed this challenge and become an adult, then it also means to be included in the adult society. And the adult society is like then giving you rights and access to privileges and giving you responsibilities. And to me, adult means taking responsibilities as a privilege, as a thing. Yes, I have no choice. I have to do those things, and I will do those, no matter if I want to do them or not. I met a kid the other day in a bus, and we were talking, and you know, it was really funny story. Like we were sitting by the same bus stop, or I was sitting, and he was like a bit further away, and there was this like, you know, electric box, you know, in a suburb, like where, you know, I don't know, these grey boxes, and he put a sticker on it, "Fuck Nazis." And I was like watching him, and at some point, like he had, put this sticker, massaged it really nicely on there, and then he looked at me and realized that I was watching the whole time, and he was like, really, oh my God, this guy saw me doing something, illegal, and he looked at me, and I was just going like, you know, and then we became friends, and he was sitting in the bus next to me, and I asked him later, like, by the way, how old are you? Like, oh, I'm 19. Like, so what does it mean? Are you already an adult? And he said, nah, and I don't want to be an adult. And I asked him, well, why don't you want to be an adult? Because, somehow to me that was always the thing I wanted to be, an adult, right? When you were young, um, and you wanted to be mainly having the access to privileges, um, but also to be someone, right? And then when I asked him, like, why don't you want to be an adult? He said, like, yeah, what's in it for me? Like, why would I want to be an adult? It's only like, responsibilities and privilege. Like, well, he didn't talk privileges. He said responsibilities and duties and less freedom. And yeah, that's really the thing, right? That's really the thing. And I see it in our society. I see people like, guys, right? Even up to, who had a 79th birthday recently? Toddler. Like, so immature, like, really, like, I don't know, not meaning to insult you or anyone, but can't blame you either, because if you have not been initiated into adulthood, how could you ever be an adult? So when I look at the amount of, like, compare our society with children and grown-ups. Children in the playground, in the kindergarten sandbox, maybe fighting over something, and then comes the grown-up and says, like, hey, apologize, and you have to deal with this by talking. Exactly, we have to deal with things by talking, especially when we want to call ourselves adults, and especially when we have more important things to do than fight. And I'm like looking with like disgust and to somehow, I don't know, amazement. I don't know if that is the word. Like surprised, shocked, outraged at the conflicts in Israel, Palestine, Ukraine. Um, like I mean, I don't want to even list the whole list of conflicts, and we have like so many big conflicts that we don't even talk about. Conflicts that don't make it into the media, conflicts that are not about, I don't know, one country against another one, all kinds of conflicts, and all kinds of conflicts where violence is being used, like, or threat of violence, or like, display of power, and I'm like wondering, like, how can it be? Like, how immature can we be? And I say we, not you. How immature can we be? And I'm speechless. I'm so speechless because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, thinking about it, like, let's think, I don't know, just pick example, Ukraine, Russia. Like, Mr. Putin, what kind of sense does this make, right? We humans, you are human, I'm human, we are all humans, like, and then there are all kinds of non-human animals, but we humans we live on this one planet, and we need to figure out how to survive within these planetary boundaries. And right now, the signs of like climate change, biodiversity loss, all kinds of pollutions, habitat loss, like, I mean, we have the best signs to show this to us. We can easily, just by spending more time outside than indoors, we can feel that our life as a species and as individuals, like, and I'm not talking within the next 1,000 years. Like, I'm not even sure if I will get into retirement, like the way we are continuing in the moment. So we have this much bigger challenge. It's like an alien spaceship, you know, there saying like, hey, if you don't stop fighting, we will kill you all, right? This is the situation. So we cannot afford nor justify investing any energy, time, money, resources, lives, into fighting human-made conflicts. That's like the most unhonorable, dishonorable thing to do. It's like it makes you look so stupid. So if you want to, like, be remembered as, like, a guy who did something for the world, like, then stop the fucking fighting. Like, really seriously, like, how stupid can it be? Same with lobbyists, lobbying for fossil fuels. Like, yes, you might have slipped into this. You have graduated with nice grades and got promised a lot of money. And in the world that you grow up into or slipped into, money is worth something. It might give you the feeling that you're worth something. And then you end up, like, lobbying for fossils and lobbying for guns and lobbying for I don't know what kind of shit that does not help our situation. I'm really getting really upset here. Stop the fucking madness, guys. And that's really guys. Like, when I look at, like, it's not the Muslims that are bad, it's not the Christians that are bad, it's guys that are bad. I don't see women doing this bad stuff. Why? Because they're connected. Because they have a monthly reminder since early youth that adulthood is a thing. A monthly bloody reminder. They have the initiation. We boys, we guys, we don't have this. We need to look for it ourselves, and then we prove ourselves by, like, ooh, I have this big car. Or I have these I have the power to rev the engine. Like, this is so desperate and so disgusting and so dishonorable and so unbelievably stupid. Oh. So, if you want to be an adult, put down your guns. If you want to be an adult, spread out your arms, spread out your hands, embrace, say, hey, I know we fucked it up. I know, like, yes, we have different religions, but we have actually the same values when you look at it. And we have bigger things in common, that we should celebrate. We have, like, a lot more bigger problems that we need to take care of. And we have a much, much better future ahead of us. The motivation is the benefits, not the necessity, the possibility. Just communication and mindset shift. That's all it takes. Communication and mindset shift. Deep nature connection. Connection with self, connection with others, connection with the rest of the nature. I mean, like, the most adult people don't even have a word for nature, indigenous societies. I don't know if this is still recording. This video has been going on for some time. So I changed back to, why did I change the name of the YouTube channel? Yeah, I didn't feel home in Huck anymore. I went back to Christoph for lack of better choices, and Christophorus is a name given to me by my parents before I was born. It's a Christian saint, Christophorus. The story is like that. I don't know. Christophorus was, like, trying to serve the most powerful, and whenever he was serving someone, because Christophorus was big and strong and guy. And whenever he was, like, serving some king and in some army, whenever he figured out that whoever he was serving was afraid of someone else, then he went to serve that one, because he wanted to serve the most powerful. So eventually he was, like, with this most powerful king, or ruler, dictator probably, for all I know. And this dictator was afraid of God. And then he wanted to serve God and didn't know how to do that. And some wise person told Christophorus, well, like, Christophorus, you're tall and strong, you could carry people across the river. Like, that would be, like, good service, maybe God service. So that's what he did. He, started carrying people across the river, and was good at that, I guess. And one day he had, like, there was this small boy, and in this story, picked up this small boy, put him on the shoulders, and started to walk over the river. And what happened? With every step, this child got heavier and heavier and heavier, until halfway through the river, this Christophorus was like, I can't, like, this is like, you're like, every step you get heavier and heavier and heavier, like, I can't carry you, you're too heavy. How is that possible? And this child was saying, well, something like this, like, I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, and when you carry me, that of course adds up. And so that was, like, apparently Jesus, little Jesus child. I don't know those stories, but anyhow, I kind of like the story in a way. I think it's good to serve and it's good to serve the world. It's good to serve the common good, not the common God, whatever that might be. The common good, the common ground right here under our feet or wheels. This is what we need to serve. We need to serve life, not our wallets, not our, not the future history books. Like, irrelevant. So, yeah, I don't know what would be a good adulthood name for me. In the moment, I go for with Christoph, with an F in the end. That works. And continue trying to serve. And maybe this video serves you in one way or the other. Maybe motivates you, animates you to think about, I don't know, what does it mean to serve? Maybe it makes you think, where am I an adult? What am I missing? Am I an adult? And how could I be more adult, more mature? And how can I connect maybe with others who are struggling in the same game? Because as a sum, I see us struggling. So my coffee is cold now. I will drink it now after this video. I thank you for watching until now. If you liked it, please share this with others. Liking, subscribing if you want, of course, and get theirs. Like, I only say this because I see other YouTube people telling about this. So yeah, activate the notifications. And it's mostly about the content. If you feel like it resonates somehow what I say, happy to I'm looking forward to your comments. Thank you, and for any kinds of interactions. And if you're ever coming around here, Eastern Finland, I can be hired as a wilderness guide and life guide, something like this. Wishing you good times. Take good care. Have safe journeys. Make good choices. And have a good life. Hej då.